Okay, today is November 9th. It is 2017, and I'm going to start a diary to call myself into some kind of recognition of what's going on in my life, in my body. I have battled my weight my whole entire life, um, and I just want to start getting well because when I was young, when you're young, people, it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't. You're going to feel great. You can weigh 200 pounds and still feel good. You can feel sexy. You can feel like you can go to an exercise class and you might be breathing a little bit harder than the skinny girls. You might take a little bit longer to get down on the floor than the little girls. But you know what? You can pretty much do everything they do. I know that even 200 was I never hit till I was in my late 20s. But like I went from 130 to 180. I maintained that probably till I was about 30. And it wasn't until after I was 30 that I really packed on the pounds. Right now I'm at 250. No, I'm at 248. And I'm 53 years old. So now is the point when you start to feel it. And all those years of sugar have caught up with me. I say I've technically eaten my lifetime allotment of sugar um, in my life because now I have high blood sugar. And for the first time in my life, my knees hurt. And it's hard for me to go from the floor and up from up to the floor. And I never had that fear. I mean, even a couple years ago, me and my husband lived in Popayan, and we ran up and down stairs that, were these ancient stairs because Popayan is like a city that was built in the 1500s. And we would, run across the bridge, and I was trying to lose weight, and I did lose quite a bit of weight there. And I put back on. My highest weight that I've ever weighed is 280, at 248 right now. So I'm 30 pounds less than the 280, but I really don't feel any better. I need to lose a lot more before I'm even going to feel good, okay? And that's something that I want to tell young people. Get in an active program now. If you are in high school and you are overweight, this is your time because you'll lose it the fastest and the easiest. And you may be one of these kids that's not naturally a stick figure, but that is okay. Okay, you can accept that maybe for your body weight, 130 is okay. Whereas when I grew up, I wanted to be 115. Cindy Crawford was 115 pounds. Christy Brinkley was 115 pounds. All the major models were 115 pounds. All the girls in ballet were, no more than 115 pounds. And so that was my goal, and I was like at 130, 140 in those years. So I always felt fat, but really and truly, I was not fat. This is me, okay? Those legs aren't fat, those arms aren't fat. I had a little bit of pot belly on my stomach, and my thighs were a little bit thicker than skinny. I had shaped forgive me, guess what, ladies? I had shape. I had a J-Lo butt before people had J-Lo butts, okay? But, I was actually made to feel when I look like this, like, I was made to feel like I look like now. That I was made, and I was in 11s and 13s. That's what I wore. And and there are still some people that would say, oh, that's fat, but not for my body build, not for my height, not for my size. If your bone structure makes you naturally a size 6, at a normal body weight, yeah, then maybe a 13 would be really heavy on you. But I will never, my bone, you could strip the flesh off my bones. I'm not going to be a size, and try and get my bones into a size 6. It's not going to happen. I'm just a bigger bone person. I'm larger. I've got wide shoulders. I'm more Maureen O'Hara than some little teeny tiny actress. So, and that's just me. And so, but if you're young, start now and never give up. Don't give up. those exercise programs. Don't give them up when you get pregnant. Don't give them up when you get jobs. That was my downfall, one of my first downfalls for exercise, because I exercised all the time until I got my first big job, and I was in retail management, and I worked 60 to 80 hours a week on my feet pretty much the whole time. It was not an office job. I was on the floor working my butt off, and your feet swell and hurt so much from working on that floor. The last thing you want to do is go to an exercise class, walk, jog. The only thing I could probably do was swim. And, so I just kind of gave up on exercise, and I put on weight back then. And don't do it, because you're sacrificing your health. If you have a job like that, try and find, use your brain, find a retail job where you can sit in an office all day and yell at somebody else to go out and work. But I'm serious. Or try and find a job where you just have a more healthy atmosphere. There are a lot of jobs now where even the companies have gyms within the company, so you can take time off and, look for those. Try and, be in a healthy job environment. And if it's an unhealthy job environment, try and get yourself out of it, because your health cannot be replaced. And that job when you're 50 and you've given 30 years and you've stress eaten and not exercised because of all the extra hours that you're putting in, you don't have the time, because you're literally getting up in the morning, going to work, coming home and going to bed. They're not going to care. That company's not going to care when you're 50. They're not going to worry about you. So nobody, no company, no person, nothing is worth sacrificing your health for. And so my Bible verse for the day, and I found this because I was meditating and praying, and I'm feeling a little hopeless. And I know I shouldn't. My hope is in Jesus. And, but right now, today is a little hard. We joined a gym, me and my husband, and it's a big investment financially. And, I'm doing Pilates, which, I did Pilates when I was in my 20s. And it was always a challenge. Pilates is not easy. It doesn't matter. Pilates is a challenge for J-Lo, okay, or for, anybody else that's, in super good shape. Pilates is a challenging system. It's made to challenge you. But, I literally can't do a whole set of reps, one set of reps. And, I'm doing exercises that I used to do 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, and now, I can barely do 5 of 1 rep. And it just... I love the exercises because it reminds me so much of when I was young and I was dancing and when I was exercising and going to classes, and I feel that same burn, I feel that same pain, and I know that pain is progress. I'm an 80s child, so no pain, no gain. I grew up on that saying, so, and I did yoga, and I was trying this morning, I got down on my mat to try and do this one stretch that I used to love to do because it used to feel so good. You lay on your stomach and you grab both your ankles and you arch your ankles back and you arch your back. And the pain that went through my legs, I cramped, my hips started hurting, everything. And it kills me that I can't do things that, I used to love doing when I was in my 20s. And again, when I did yoga in my 20s, there were some moves that I never was like the one where you practically, you bend down, you stand up with your legs in a V, and you can bend down, and, some of the people could stick their head all the way through their legs. I never got to that limberness level, but, I did see progress in my limberness as the more and more and more I did that exercise. And, now I can barely, let's not even talk about where I am that way as far as limberness. But, we're going to yoga today at 10:15, and I have my schedule memorized. We're what days we go to Zumba, what days we go to Rumba, what days we do Pilates, what days. And my husband's doing everything with me. He loved yoga. That was his first. Yeah, last Thursday was his first time doing yoga in his whole entire life, and he loved it. And he said it just and it's. I'm a Christian, and it's not a yoga where you go and chant, and it's just literally the exercises. And the exercises, Christians, I'm sorry, but the yoga exercises for limberness, for strength, for core strength, for just adjusting your body, they're really good, strong exercises. And I've done similar exercises in jazz classes. I've done you do similar exercises in Pilates. And so you don't have to do a yoga class where you're sitting there and meditating and saying all their chants and stuff like that. That's not what I'm doing. So Christians, don't yell at me. So anyways, I've got my little card, English on the front, Spanish on the back, because I got to learn Spanish too. But it's Isaiah 40:29-31. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youth grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. They will stretch and feel good. And this really, really touched me because I like I said, I've been reflecting back on when I was young and what I could do at 16 and 20 versus now. And, even then I wasn't perfect. I wasn't the perfect, student in exercise. I wasn't the most flexible. I wasn't the, strongest, but I could do a lot more. But it says, even the young can get weak, but when you have the power of God and you have His strength behind you. And yesterday in Pilates, that's what I was doing. The whole time I was on that machine, and my legs started shaking, and I started thinking, I'm not going to get through 3 reps of this exercise. I started just praying and saying, God, your strength, strengthen me, because I can't do this physically. My body is not there. And I really did feel more strength through my praying, and I prayed through that class, and I know that I'm going to see progress as I go. I've already seen a couple pounds come down since last week, since we started this class. And so I just want to, though, encourage you, if you're young, get yourself in shape, find exercises that you love. If it's dancing, if it's running, if it's bicycling, whatever it is that you love. Because, like, for example, I will never be in a spin class. I'm sorry, but the bike seats hurt my butt way too bad, and I'm not going to sit in that kind of pain for an hour. But in Pilates, I don't know why. I think maybe it's the conditioning from taking so many dance classes when I was young. But that kind of pain, I like. I literally like it. The kind of pain that I feel in yoga, I like. The kind of pain I feel in Zumba, I like. So, and even though I can get discouraged, I know that this is, just a process. And I am going to improve week by week by week. So that's my message. God bless everybody. Have a great day. And if you're feeling the same, you can leave some messages. If you somehow have achieved your weight goals and you stumble across this video, you can go ahead and leave a message and tell me and encourage me. But I just want to thank everybody, and God bless.